Okay, now I guess you are doing good, and many of you just asked me to do a video on the dependency injection implementation, code implementation. So I'll be doing today the setter injection. There are two ways of dependency injection. One is setter injection, and another is constructor injection. So I'll be doing the setter injection. So I've created a standalone Maven project, Maven application over here. So I've created, this is the main Java file where we will be testing the injection that has been injected or not. And I've created a Pojo class. Those of you who don't know about the Pojo class and the difference between a Pojo class and a Bean class, you can comment down and tell me if you really want to basically know about or know about the Pojo class difference or the Pojo class definition and what does a Pojo class do. First of all, in a shorthand, I'm going to tell you for the basic for now only that a Pojo class is nothing but a bean class that has all the attributes of the data that is provided in the application, and through it we can basically do a dependency injection by creating a bean with the name data. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's start. Possibly. Okay, here are two attributes that I have created using the private access modifier. So I'm gonna do and set the give the getter and setter methods. Okay, let me go to source and string this. Yes, I'll generate this. Okay, that was cool. Now let me create the config file outside the source window. New other XML, and this will be config.xml. Okay. Okay, guys. Just basically, I've added a little bit of dependencies that you need. Mainly, two dependencies you need for this. You need the Spring context, which is gonna provide the class path XML application context package, and from there we also need the Spring core module, the dependency, which will give the Spring dependencies. Okay, so. Without wasting any time, let's tune up into the main Pojo class. So I'm gonna create a private string name. Remember, we are doing the setter injection using the properties. So we are not implementing p schema and p schema. We are not using p schema and PID. Using with the value and the property tag. You can basically use the value as the attribute too. I'm gonna show you how you can do it in the both ways. Okay. Let's create another attribute as ID. This is the data, and we create the name and ID of that data. Okay. Now we create the getters and setters. Actually, please note down this thing. This getter and setter methods are being used as and implemented as an encapsulation. That is the fundamental OOPS concept of Core Java. If you guys don't know about the encapsulation in details, let me know to make a video on that. I will surely make a video and post it on the YouTube channel. Okay. Let's go to this one. I save this. Now I create the B ID. Okay, you can just basically give any name over here. The class should be the directory that we have and package com dot what is it? Injection. dot bean dot uh, okay. Now property. So this is it. I'm gonna give the ID is equal to the ID. It's gonna be the ID. Okay, I give the property name as the ID, and I pass it as a value, and I pass it 22. Suppose this is a random value, can give anything. And the next property is name is equals to name, um, JD. Okay, now I save this. Now it is time to create and run and test the application that is working or not. To do that, first we have to create the object of class path XML application context. I can take it CD class path, and I mention this the configuration file, the name of the configuration file XML. So config.xml. So it tells the class path XML application context to look on this particular XML file, the object that's created. There's a reference created. The CT is nothing but an object reference that gets created with all the connected properties that has been defined in the XML configuration file. So what I want to do is I can just call the CT get bean with the name of, what was the name, data, or more specifically I can put it inside get a reference and a type constitute data, because it's a data. Okay. And then I sys out employee data name dd dot get name, and I sys out id dd dot get id. So this dt is making reference of the bean that got created with the name of data, and now it's looking with this file. I created instance with the dt, and that dt is calling all the functions set, sorry, not set, get name and get id. Okay, so this name will be this one over here, and this id is gonna return this one, as we have created a bean and created the bean and injected that particular bean into this by making this class path XML application context object reference, looking at the config file, and I have created and injected over here with the bean, and I can access it anywhere with this dt reference that we have created, right? With a particular class that we needs to be get connected. So in dependency injection is nothing but connecting two classes where we don't write the object creation of any class into another class. That has been done by the external framework, that is Spring, that we see here. The Spring core module just injects the dependencies from one class into the other by doing a dependency injection in two ways. First way, set injection that we did here, using the XML configuration. Other developers also, when we create the real-time web application, we don't use this XML configuration like this. We use there as an annotation of auto wiring. Auto wiring is also a process that catalyzes the dependency injection, or that takes part in the dependency injection while injecting the properties of one class to other, just because these two classes are dependent on each other. So auto wiring is also same as this, is because the phenomena is dependency injection. The process which is taking place is auto wiring. So it's a type of an auto wiring, but we did with XML configuration, not with the annotations, because that is somewhat advanced topic, and I'm not gonna cover that right now. So this is it. So let me close this. I always remember to close the CT context, as because it gives a weird error if you don't do it. Yeah, let's be on the safe side. Now, if you run this as well, there you go. Data name is JD that we passed, data ID 22. So we can see that there will be a config file, and we create a bean named data of this one, and we set the property ID to 22 and name it to JD of this class. There's a setters and getters methods. With this setter injection, this is called the setter injection, we are injecting these property values to this class, so that we don't have to write the object, or we have to create the data object again in the main class. So that the whole thing is done by the Spring Core. We just needed to inject some properties using the setter injection by creating setter methods and doing the possible things in XML configuration using the property stack. We can do it with other things also, like p schema, or we can also make a short of this, and if we don't want to mention the tag, we can do it with value attribute too. We create here a direct property, like if we want to do a value attribute, we create this value, we give the direct value of 20, and we create here the value of JD. I'll run this now. Okay, okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So this is the value attribute. We can do it with that also, or we can do it with p schema, PID. I'm gonna cover the p schema PID in the next video. Till then, practice this code. I hope you understand. If you have any questions or doubts, you can comment down below, or you can reach out to me. Uh, that's it for today.